because I admired Patrick Troughton, and it came up at a time when pubs were open, so I Troughton a lot. But after that, I didn't watch Doctor Who very much at all. And when I was in it, apart from having to revoice scenes, I didn't watch that either, because I have to try to explain to people. Doing Doctor Who, the pleasure for me was actually making Doctor Who and doing the adventures. I didn't want to see it on the screen, for the simple reason was, sometimes I'm rather opinionated. And in no time at all, when looking at the first bits that I saw, I had ideas about how I thought I would have directed it if I'd been directing it. Actors often have this feeling, because they think that's the wrong shot, we did a better take. And so that leads to kind of tension, and I didn't want any tension, so everything, all my pleasure was in actually making this program. We used to rehearse it very, very thoroughly in wonderful studios and things like that. And at that time, at the beginning of my time in Doctor Who, I loved it so much that suddenly I was very happy because I had been rather unhappy. I don't want to tell you any of my sorrows about why I was unhappy, but suddenly I was complete, going to work every morning at 8:30 and working until 4:30. And I used to see the clock ticking round to, 4:45, and I'd see actors looking at watches because they had to go home to lovers and children and houses and all that sort of thing. And I didn't have that. And it used to make me sad, and I used to dread the end of the day's work, because then would come the reality. And the ghastly reality at that time was that I wasn't really happy away from work. So I dreaded being away from Doctor Who. I don't often talk about that because it's a bit melancholic, but that's the way it was. It fulfilled me. And here I am now, nearly half a century later, feeling, although I'm entirely happy now domestically, although I'm entirely happy in every way and reasonably healthy, I'm still fulfilled by that crazy character that I played, who cannot exist except in all our imaginations of a good man, a funny man, a heroic man, a man who is a pacifist really, and who frustrates evil. What could be nicer, to play that character? And,